This is going to be a short video where I show you how to add a legend and adjust it quickly to show only the items that you want in your legend, and also give it a background and a border and set up your spacing. So right now we have a layout set up and this layout has a few features in it. We have roads, streams, clear cuts, and a few landings that are marked here as red dots. So what we want to do is we want to go up and we want to be on the Insert tab up here at the top, and we want to go to Legend. We'll click Legend, and then we'll draw a square here. And you can see here our legend comes in. It's kind of hard to read. So first thing we want to do is let's put a background on that legend. So we can go over here and we can go to this paintbrush over here on the right. And down here you see that we have options here for adding in a border and background. So let's put a border on it. Let's make our border black. And we'll do 2 point. Let's see how that looks. And then let's give it a white background. That's just pretty simple, right? So we can see here's our legend. Looks okay. I'm going to zoom in on it just so that we can look at some things here. But you can see that it's really crowded, right? And so we don't want it to be super crowded. We want there to be gaps around our stuff here. So let's look at our backgrounds here and our borders. So our border right now, we have 0 inch on our X and Y gaps, and on our background we have 0 inch on our X and Y gaps. So let's increase that a little bit. Maybe 0.1 and 0.1, and you can see that expanded the border out, and then we'll do the same thing with the background, and that will expand our background out. Now if we click off of this, that looks a bit better, right? So there's some other stuff in here that maybe we don't want to have. So this is our background image, and it has the red, green, and blue bands in here. And you know, this isn't really useful information for the map necessarily. So what we can do is we'll go over here to the left, and you can see over here on the left that you have this drop down right here. And so this drop down here where it says legend, you can click the little arrow next to it and it drops down and it shows you all the things that are going to be in your legend. And over here we can just uncheck stuff that's in here. So that if we don't want to show our background picture, we can unclick that, and you can see now it's gone to this. Now the other thing we have here is we have our roads file is named Oregon Transportation, and our stream file is called STW Streams, which is Winter Steelhead Streams. So we can go and in here, instead of changing the name of our shape files, we can actually just change it over here in the contents. This won't change the name of your shape files in your file format, but it will change it how it appears on the map here. So if we go here and we double click on roads, it opens up this properties and we can see Oregon Transportation. You can also slow click on the name and it will open it up over there. We can just change this to roads. Say okay. And now you see that that updated it not only here in the contents, but also in your legend. And you can do the same thing with Steelhead Streams. We'll just call it Streams. We say okay. Now you see that we have landings, roads, streams, and clear cuts. That all looks really nice, right? And so the final thing we might look at is up here in legend, maybe you don't like this font for your writing, or maybe you have a different font that you're using somewhere else and you're like, well, how do I change my font to my legend? Up here, if you click on legend, once again it's going to open up your elements screen over here, and you can go over here to text symbol, and then under the appearance drop down you can actually check, you can click and check which font you're using, and you can change your font. A few other things that you might do, in this case I'm not going to, but some people might want to have their legend show that it is the legend, so they might want a title for that. So in that case you can go over here and you have this legends option here, and you can say show title. If you click that, now you see that it shows up and it shows legend, or you can name it whatever you want it to be. I don't particularly feel like we need it in this one, so I'm going to keep it out. So now if we click back, we want to zoom out a little bit, and we want to make sure that this legend is in a place where it's not obscuring anything underneath it. It's not being too obstructive. And normally legends aren't, you know, top of the map. They tend to be down towards the bottom half of the map. So in this case, maybe we grabbed the wrong thing. We go click back, put me back where I want to be. I'll click the legend. We'll take the legend and we can drop it down here to someplace perhaps a little bit more reasonable. I wouldn't tuck it right against the edge. I'd leave a little bit of gap in there potentially. Something like that might look nice. This might get messed around with. We might end up shrinking this map down and having a bigger blank space down here that we have our north arrow and maybe some other information, our scale information and our name and title. In that case, you might have enough space underneath that you just drop your legend down below the map too. But, if you're going to have your legend on top of your map, think about where you're going to put it. Make sure it's not in a place that is obscuring any of the useful information that you're trying to show in your map. That's all I've got for this one, so I'll just wrap that up, and I hope you have a good day.